Hey guys, it's Connor, and I'm going to admit something that I really did not want to admit, and that's this. I kind of like Grok, but by the way, not for the reason I thought I would like Grok. In fact, I like Grok for the exact reason that I really thought I wouldn't. I sort of thought I would watch Grok come out and it was like so like, right leaning and we're going to like crush political correctness and death to wokeness and all that kind of stuff and I'm like, "Oh, please, here we go," right? But like I gotta tell you, I kind of dig it, and so that's for like for that reason, I sort of secretly wanted to not like Grok and like Google, but like it actually happened to be reversed. But anyway, so here's the thing, right? So with Grok, I thought Grok was sort of supposed to be like again like this kind of like flamethrower to wokeness kind of thing, and I've argued on this channel that I actually think that is a great business move by Elon. He's kind of capturing like the zeitgeist, capturing sort of like this giant movement that's sort of like sort of like swept, Trump into office and everything else, like very populistic, very anti, media, anti-establishment, blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't matter how I feel about those things. Like, I just think it's a good business thing because it has a voice on that and people want to follow the voice that they want to follow. But here's the thing. To be totally honest, just personally, that's the part I really didn't expect to like at all. I kind of expected to actually sort of like hate it, like this, to hell with political correctness. But guys, I kind of love it. And here's the reason why. First of all, because it's kind of funny, right? And also, here's the important part about Grok. It sort of knows that there's a time and a place for it, right? So like when I asked for latest, AI news of the week, I kind of expected it to be like, "Oh, why are you looking for AI news that talks about raising taxes and giving out participation trophies and naming America woke America or something like that," right? But it didn't. It actually just sort of gave me the news. Now, here's the problem. I thought that's where it would be great. And I think sometimes it can be, but like the few times I've tried it, it's only been okay. It's kind of like been grabbing tweets, but I need AI news, especially AI news, to be like up to the second. And you find that on Twitter. That's where all the news breaks. It only did sort of an okay job. And here's the other thing. I said, well, what's the AI news of the week? It didn't even mention the Gemini debacle, which was blowing up Twitter. And I'm like, wow, how do you miss something like that? On the other hand, it did an outstanding job when I was asking it for like, exciting plays of NFL Sunday and stuff like that, which, oh my gosh, I got to show you the Bard demo that I did at some point too, because that's like hilariously awful. But anyway, it was a kind of like a little bit of a mixed bag on the news stuff, grabbing stuff like from Twitter, which I thought it would really, really excel at. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. But here's the thing. When I started pushing on like a separate topic, like just to sort of see how it would react, I was like, "Hey, did Joe Biden embarrass himself lately?" Or, how is, and then I asked, I think like, "How has Trump been screwing up the country of late?" So I was trying to kind of like poke at it. And here's the interesting thing. I mean, listen, it was definitely more harsh on Biden for sure, like really poking fun of it. It had some like canned jokes and stuff like that. But then the news that it sort of like brought out when I asked for like negative news about Biden and Trump, like it was actually pretty equal. So in other words, what it was doing was it was actually giving me the news in a fairly objective manner. And I was just a little bit surprised for it. So look, it had a lean, but again, it gave me the news and I thought that was kind of cool. And here's what I sort of like learned about it, right? Is that Grok will match your style. Like if I was serious and I'm saying like, "Hey, I'm actually like trying to figure this out," then it actually gave me news. When I was clearly like saying like, "Hey, how's Biden embarrassing himself?" It like really hammed it up. It's like, well, yeah, totally on board with that kind of thing, right? And but that's fair enough when it matches your style, because even like a lot of large languages match the style, and this is just the style that it uses. And also I have no problem with it because it's very out in the open about like leaning right. It's like, "Hey man, like if you don't want this kind of style, then don't come here." And I really, really respect that, right? So anyway, if it's going to be like that, I am totally good with that personality. In fact, I love the fact that it has a worldview, and I think that is going to be the direction that large language models go. So secondly, it matched my style, but again, as I said, it also gave good info, because I was trying to be like, "Oh man, the NFL is so woke. It's like the no fun league or the feelings or whatever, like, oh, what are they whining about? What are they whining about today or something?" And it was like, "Oh wow, yeah, you really have a," and it was sort of like encouraging me. It's like, "Ah, yeah, you really have a strong opinion on that." But the truth was that it was actually a really exciting day in the NFL, right? So it sort of gently guided me to it. And then I was like, okay, wait, back to this. Like, "Hey, Grok, isn't the left like totally framing Trump?" So I'm like kind of going back and forth, right? And then it's like, "Yeah, I hear you, totally, but the truth is sort of kind of murky. There's kind of, things on both sides. So who knows what to believe, right? But I gotta say, as somebody who kind of like, I'm just gonna tell you, kind of like leans left, I found myself loving Grok. I mean, like, I'm loving a personality. I really liked it. So I'll say this. Listen, I can be kind of harsh on Elon, just like when I think about like what he is and who he is and all that kind of stuff, even though he's a brilliant, brilliant guy. But I gotta tell you, to the Elon defenders out there, kudos, man. I am chalking this one up to him. He did an absolutely great job on this. Again, a lot of room for growth, all that kind of stuff. And I'm a huge admirer of Elon's, but like in this case, I'm like, all right, man, you guys did well. Anyway, I got to do stuff on Bard later because woo-wee, I was not a big fan. But that's all for now. I'll see you next time.